Hey everybody, Jeff Marr from STEM School Highlands Ranch, and joining me is Matt Cartier, our new Chief Innovation Officer for KOSON. Matt, welcome to the team.
Thank you.
So let's first start with a little bit about your background. The purpose of this interview is for our community to get to know you a little better. So prior to joining KOSON in this new position, talk about your career and some of what you were doing before.
Yeah, thank you. Well, it's great to be a part of the team and be a part of KOSON. My career started 24 years ago. And right out of high school, I decided I wanted to be a history teacher. And some of that came because I went to a high school that had me do a capstone project where I wanted to be an architect. Well, through that whole year, I decided I didn't want to be an architect and really wanted to pursue education. So it started out in a school in Los Angeles, teaching 8th grade history and English. And with those kids, none of them could read above 20%. So I went to my superintendent and said, could I teach them reading instead of history? Now, keep in mind, I love history, but they needed to read. So I learned the values of skills and how important they are for kids right away from the first year I started teaching. And that led into a tutoring business. And so I started helping kids get ready for high school. And there was an elementary school that saw what I was doing with kids in middle school. And so they asked me to start a middle school for intelligent kids that learn differently. So those were kids with ADD, dyslexia, processing issues, gifted and talented too. So what I learned there is like personalizing what you're trying to teach kids is what it's all about. And so, yeah, really focusing on skills and personalized learning became something that I was about from early on. And then we moved to San Diego and I taught the opposite. I worked with AP US History and was able to teach kids there. And what I learned there was that kids that learning always came easy and they knew how to game school and get the grade, but they still struggled with like the love and desire to like learn for pushing themselves forward. So and then that led to coming out to Colorado in 2009 where I started working at Valor as a history teacher and within a couple of years became one of the principals that oversaw teaching and learning, curriculum development, and then all the programs around like special education, summer school, online learning, supporting, the artists and the athletes over there. And so I was there for 9 years and then went to Cherry Hills across the street for a couple years to be their head of school and then had the opportunity to start Colorado Christian Academy, which is a pre-K to 8th grade school here in town as well. And so got that going through COVID and then that led to this opportunity here at KOSON. So that's a quick background on where I come from.
And you may have answered my next question, which was what made you interested in working in education, but it sounds like you just found that passion early on when you decided that architecture was not for you. You really loved history, and then you started working with kids, and then from there it became your career.
Yeah, a little bit deeper into that. My junior year in high school, I had 4 friends pass away. So I think what really made me love education was I learned that life is short early on. And so when I picked education, I wanted to work with people. I wanted it to be meaningful. And then I loved learning. Always loved. I was a curious person. And then I loved sports and I wanted just the flexibility to be able to kind of move from city to city. So the architect job didn't provide some of that flexibility. But the reason I'm in education is I just love working with people and I want to have a meaningful job where what I do is impacting myself and it's impacting others with the time we have on this earth. So,
absolutely. And speaking of time, when you work in education, it goes by so fast because you're helping impact lives and you're seeing them grow throughout the years, especially at K through 12, and you're kind of seeing where they go after that as well, and knowing that you played a part in that, and that's one of the reasons why I love education too. So let's talk about some of the highlights of your career up to this point. So looking back, what stands out to you?
Yeah. Well, looking back, it's like the great people I've got to work with over the years. You think about education, teachers are some of the best people on the planet. The fact that they give their life to really forwarding the lives of others and their passion for what they do. So the amount of like quality teachers and educators I've got to rub shoulders with and look back on has been immense. And I don't know too many jobs where the wealth that you have is in your network of friends that you've worked with over the years. And then the other is just the students I've got to get to know. Like to be 24 years into this now, like I have students that have brought kids to my school, and they're the parent now instead of the student. And just to see them accomplish things, and more than just accomplish things, it's like who they're becoming, the families that they're developing.
Right.
This year, one of my students, he actually came back every Friday to help me work on my house, and he was teaching me things about how to fix my house and do projects around my house. So another one was just being able to watch them be super successful in their careers. It just puts a smile on my face, because you don't always see the impact day to day when they're in 3rd grade, 2nd grade, 8th grade, but to be able to look back and see it later, that's a highlight for sure.
Absolutely. And now you're in this leadership role, which is a new role for us, being Chief Innovation Officer for KOSON.
Right.
KOSON's going to be your focus. So let's talk about that role and what attracted you to it, the CIO position.
Yeah.
What did you like about that?
Yeah. What attracted me to it is right away when I looked at the vision statement. In the vision statement, it's really clear why it exists, and it's to have students thrive, lead, and succeed. And so for me to be a part of an organization that's their focus, is they want kids to just thrive in their life and in their work, I'm all about that. But what really grabbed me was even that word innovative. Instead of Chief Executive Officer, it's Chief Innovative Officer. And that's who I've been since I was young. I've been a problem solver. Even when I was in middle school, I would just start solving problems. And that's what I love about the work that I get to do, is where are the constraints, where are the problems, and how do we fix them and get things to move forward in a more innovative, efficient way. And so seeing that was like the ethos of KOSON, that's how they do their work, was through never stop innovating. I'm all about that. And so that was very attractive to me. And then what they would do was, through character, through developing skills, curiosity with the students. I like the here's what we want to do as we're doing it. So all about just kind of what you see on paper, I loved. And so then when I got to meet the board and meet the shared services team and learn more about the Magnet School of STEM Highlands Ranch, I was more drawn in just to the people that I got to meet. So, so for those reasons, I was attracted to it, and feel really grateful and honored to be here, a part of the team, and helping to move that brand forward.
And as you learn more about the position and the future with KOSON, have you identified up to this point any initiatives or things that you want to tackle moving forward?
Right. Yeah, right away, it's just really to be a learner, to be observant, and to get to know the magnet school that we have of STEM, Highlands Ranch. And so I really see my initiatives to be supporting Lynanne and her work with STEM. And so the shared services team, that's our number one job, is to really come alongside her and support her in her work to make STEM that best school that it already is, and keep refining it and making it better. So that's one initiative. The other initiative is, as we have, great people in place and a vision in place to impact kids, where's some other schools that we can get started on and get and build new schools under the KOSON brand. So that's initiative number 2 that we'll be working on. And just to keep it simple, I think that's a good way to think about it, is I'm here to support the existing school and support Lynanne and her work. And then number 2 would be to point back to this school as we use it as an example to start new schools.
Now, we talked about your work background, how you found a passion for education, and kind of what you're going to be doing with the work with KOSON as Chief Innovation Officer. Let's talk about some of the things that you like to do when you're not working, some of your hobbies, personal interests, things that people may not know about you.
Yeah. I fell in love with golf when I was 30, and so I didn't play it as a kid, but my wife, she went back to be a nurse, and so she did an accelerated program, was gone all the time. So I tried to pick up surfing in Southern California. I fell off the board every single time. So it was like, that was not going to be my nature fix. So I found golf to be my nature fix. I love just being out on the green grass and being outside and being with friends. So as much as I can do that, I enjoy it. And then that theme continues. I just like being outside. So working on the garden or doing outdoor adventures in Colorado or things that I enjoy. And then I have 3 kids, so whatever their dreams are, I've learned to also make kind of my dreams and my hobbies, and so I invest in them as much as I can as well. So.
Have you identified some of your favorite courses in Colorado, and do you frequent those quite a bit?
Yeah, so I'll play the Ridge and Castle Pines a lot, and Lone Tree, and probably Raccoon Creek, and Highlands Ranch right here too. So between those 4 is when I get out, if I could play those 4 courses I enjoy. So.
Fellow golfer here too. It's a game where you never stop learning and you never stop trying to perfect. That's what I love about golf.
Yeah.
Anything else you want to add before we wrap up?
Just that I'm honored to be here. I think that education's in this really pivot point right now where we've gone through a lot with COVID, but there's just so much changing in education and in the world. And so the fact that KOSON is all about innovation and has been doing it through STEM Highlands Ranch for over a decade. It really sets us up to be in a great place to think about the future for how to impact kids as they're learning and growing and developing so they can be successful in this next generation. So to be a part of KOSON that thinks that way and is heading that way, and then that connecting to my own skills and passions, I just couldn't be more grateful and honored to be here and be part of the team.
We're grateful to have you on the team, and it's great to talk to you as well.
Thank you, Jeff.
Matt Cartier, Chief Innovation Officer at KOSON. And be sure to subscribe to our social media for more updates. There's going to be a lot more updates to come as we tackle the new school year. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.